It's time to go beyond plus ultra for My Villain Academia.
Why does it sound like you might be putting on the Bat Rook cowl?
Where? I, I'm trying to be dark. It's My Villain Academia.
Are you dark and brooding? Are you brooding over the death of your daughter that you yourself caused?
uh, it's My Hero Academia, My Villain Academia arc.
I was really hoping to get a new intro a la
Yeah!
JoJo. I was really hoping for a JoJo like spin on the intros, but no. No, sadly, it's the same.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't hate the song. There are worse ones. It's a decent intro.
Same outro, too.
Just a little disappointed at the lack of change for the drastic nature of the storyline spin here.
Yeah, since the outro seems to deal more with the Endeavor arc.
Yeah, for sure. But so we're jumping back about 2 months in time.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see Gigantomachia, I think his name is Gigantomachia.
Yes.
So he's there. He shows up. He's with Tomura. He doesn't like Tomura. Tomura's not as strong as one all for one. And he's like, I don't accept you. Why'd you give me a weak one? You ain't good. Starts trying to smash everything. And then we get good old Dr. Eggman. I'm gonna call him that until we get an actual name for him and not that stupid fake thing he came up with.
Doctor, oh, I thought he was given a name.
He came up with a name, but he said he just made it up on the spot.
Oh.
Unless there's one in the wiki I'm not aware of, which could be. I didn't really look. I'm just gonna call him Eggman until we get something better. So Dr. Eggman's all like, hey guys, he doesn't accept you yet and explains why. Uh Drags the league in with that weird quirk that's got like liquid or something in it. I forget what it's called. Transmission? I think
Yeah.
that's the quirk. But it's got like that weird liquid that just teleports them in and out, and I forget what the actual specifications of that quirk are. Anyway, the Dr. Eggman basically transmissions them into his lab, and I'm not sure if he himself is there with them or if he's just on a screen.
Hmm.
The way the voice lines sound, it sounds like there's like TV static in there almost. So I think he's just popping up on a screen. Like he didn't show up to them in person.
Okay.
And he's basically like, "Hey, been a while, Tomura. How you been, buddy? Give me a reason why I should ever even support you." To which Tomura does some babbling, starts talking about his past, and this is where I start coming in for a question.
Okay.
So let me just play this bit out again for me. We do find out that what the hands he has on him are, because I remember him saying "mother" over the one on his face. We found out they're actually the leftover pieces of his family after a tragic incident, which supposedly he caused.
I'm guessing he, since he's so young, he couldn't really control his quirk, and he nullified or decayed his family except for their hands. So somehow.
I was gonna say I find it weird that only the hands survived. Like that part doesn't make sense to me. Um, because it seems at least the way Tomura currently is that when we've seen him use his ability, it just decays everything as soon as he touches it with like all five fingers.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is, it fully degrades. Now, here's my point where I'm confused. And maybe it's meant to be that way to leave a hint, or maybe it's just the sub errors. The way it's described is that Tomura was running, screaming, and thinking, a hero will come, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is he running away if it was his own ability?
Hmm.
Why is he running away from a place that you would think a child would try to stay close to, even if it was like their decaying relatives?
Hmm.
You would think he himself would be in danger to have him run. And even Tomura says he doesn't exactly remember anything from before All for One took him in. So even he can't verify that as fact.
Did All for One alter his memories using some kind of memory altering quirk?
If that was the case, it was before he took him in. My thought was, did All for One set this up to happen this way?
Oh. Because you're saying that Dr. Ujiko, I just went back and that's what he's calling himself. Dur-
Yeah, which I'm not going to call him that because he called it a fake name right
oh,
away.
okay, so let's go with Dr. Eggman. So you're saying if going back to last episode, if he is the same doctor that told Deku he has no quirk, if he's spying on kids, he spied on Shigaraki and said, hey, this might be a good successor for you.
I don't even know if he said that much, so much that he probably would have said, "Oh, here's an interesting quirk," if he discovered it. Um, could have also been that this was the way that the doctor was the reason he found out that Shigaraki was the son of Nana Shimura, All Might's predecessor.
Mm.
Doctor may have been able to figure that one out, if only by accident. Just being like, "Ooh, here's some little piece of information. This is fun." The way All for One puts it is that nobody identified Tomura's quirk before it really manifested itself and that
Mm-hmm.
tragedy occurs, right? Again, whether or not it was pre-orchestrated by All for One after realizing who Shigaraki was related to, big old shrug.
And
Um,
wasn't it grandson?
could have been grandson. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Either way, point is, it's a direct relation. Would it shock me if All for One organized something to happen that would traumatize, Shimura, and if he needed to alter memories?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I wouldn't be shocked. Who knows? But it's just the lines don't add up in that if Shimura is the one that did it, then why is he running away like a scared child of something that might hurt him?
Hmm.
Like, the information to me doesn't add up without more context, but right now it leaves me very suspicious as to what happened and whether or not what we're seeing here is actually the case.
Yeah.
We get basically the doctor saying, "Hey, if you could get Giganto to listen to you, I'll be behind you 100%." He also takes Dabi, and I guess Dabi's going to be the one at this point probably sending that Nomu off after Endeavor is my guess.
Maybe.
I think that's what's going on here.
And Eggman
Um,
is making these super nomus that seem very human shaped.
well, I'm going to assume that the one that Dabi got his hands on to send after Endeavor is directly from the Doctor.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets a call from the Liberation Army, or at least those that are orchestrating it in the background. Uh, this is interesting because I did not expect this part where it's like, "Oh no, we don't want to use you. We want to eliminate you. You're making too much of a scene."
So villains against villains. Hmm.
Yeah, this is interesting. I did not expect this development. I was expecting something more like the high side thing from the previous season, where it's like forced collaboration for one reason or another, or like, and this one could still happen. They take over
Oh.
based on what we've seen prior. I think that might end up being the case because we don't see any of the people that were shown to us as leaders of the Liberation Army.
Right.
This is the first we're seeing them, so I'm going to take a wild guess and assume that whatever happens the League of Villains comes out on top and takes over this whole thing.
But then again, the arc after the Endeavor Agency arc is called the Meta Liberation Army arc.
Which is why I feel like they take it over.
Oh. Hmm.
Whether or not the army themselves realizes that is, I guess, up in the air. But one way or the other, the League of Villains comes out on top and I feel like takes over. Now, them being this organized is very interesting. I did not expect that to happen for sure. How many did they say their number was when they were on the phone? That's what I'm curious about.
11,000?
Okay, so that is not anywhere near the 400,000 we got out of that book Hawks gave out. Let me see here.
I think it was 11,000.
I'm trying to go back and find out.
Let's see. I missed a zero. 110,000.
They still get 4 times more than that at 400,000. So I want to know where they're getting 4 times those numbers. Because according to that book from Hawks, they're numbering in 400,000. That's what I'm curious about. Where the fuck do they all come from?
Wait. I misspoke. The Meta Liberation Army arc is this arc. The one after the Endeavor Agency arc is the Paranormal Liberation War arc.
I'm going to pretend I know what that means. And
I don't either.
What else really happens? They get threatened by the Meta Liberation Army, who apparently has enough resources to literally pinpoint them by satellite. And they basically gave them the ultimatum of, hey, come to us in this city and fight us so we can kill you, or we rat you out to the heroes and they'll do it for us. So yeah, they get that opportunity, and Shigaraki's all like, you know what? Oh, here's the fun part, actually. Gigantomachia has been fighting them, and he's basically fighting them for almost 2 days straight before he sleeps for like 3 hours. Apparently, the rest of the league has been like sleeping in shifts, but because Tomura's the main target, he's literally had to stay awake the entire time, other than those few hours that Giganto's just asleep.
I kind of found it a little bit funny. Once Twice lost his mask, he like broke down.
That's kind of his problem. He can't hold himself together well without the mask after his whole like mental breakdown of not knowing if he was real or not.
Yeah.
I like the fact that the doctor gave them a little bit of money, and Toga's first opportunity was like, I need a nice new coat, and she looks adorable in it. Even if she's a psychopath.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tomura's plan is essentially, alrighty, let's just go in there, and we'll just lead Giganto in, because he seems to find me no matter where I go. We'll just have him deal with these, like, 100,000 or 110,000 men. That's kind of where it leaves off.
Yeah, so
I don't feel like there's much to go on as far as like the preview for the next episode goes.
Yeah.
Just a lot of talking back and forth between people before they meet up with the villains, it seems.
So I don't think this will be an anthology. I think we're going to focus more on Shigaraki and his crew to take down the Meta Liberation Army.
I will say, I just kind of skipped to it. During the preview, I just saw Slide and Go.
Oh.
He's like bowing to someone who's out of frame. Like you're looking at the back of the guy's feet, and you can see at the distance a bunch of heroes, and then in front of them, Slide and Go is bowing to this guy, whoever he is. I'm guessing it's whoever's leading the Meta Liberation Army at the moment.
So Slide and Go is a villain.
Well, he's at the very least aligned with the Liberation Army. Like that one's already been clear. Now, the fact that he might know who the leaders are, or might be higher up, like he mentioned to Hawks when Hawks showed up at the building, that's up for debate. He might know higher ups more than Hawks does.
Okay.
I have to assume that's the case if he's bowing to this guy, whoever it is. That's about it. There's not much else to go on.
Yeah. This is going to be a very interesting arc.
I'm curious what light it will shed on the previous bit that we've seen.
Do you think we'll see any heroes at all in this arc?
I mean, technically, Slide and Go is a hero. You'll probably see the ones that are aligned with the Liberation arc, but that's about it.
Oh.
You might. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a bit more of what Hawks is doing. Oh, Slide and Go is in front of the League. I just realized who they were. At the distance, it's hard to say, but I can tell now. Yeah, it's the League of Villains. He's in front of them and he's bowing to whoever is there, and Dobby's with them.
Oh.
So Dobby's shown up for this fight. Don't know why Slide and Go is in front of the villains, though, bowing to whoever's meeting them.
Huh.
Yeah, the distance they were, it was hard to tell who they were at first, but now that I'm analyzing a bit more closely, it's definitely the villains. It's sad that its Compress's yellow freaking, jacket that's giving it away more than anything else.
This is... How do you think this arc is going to end with a big fight between the villains?
My understanding, based on the way Kaiser has talked in prior stuff, is that whatever it ends on is a big bang. It's the whole reason they flipped everything around. Otherwise, you'd be ending on Endeavor's, lunch with his kids.
Huh. Yeah, that would be semi-anticlimactic.
Yeah, based on what he said, that's the entire reason they flipped it, because otherwise that's where this would end.
Huh. Well, thank you, Kaiser, for being our source for understanding.
Kaiser's Mr. Manga Man. I am glad to listen to him, and I'm curious on his opinions from this episode.
Okay,
I'm very curious to see if what I picked up on is something that he's is something of a giveaway, or if any of the other two that are on there will pick it up and be like, I don't know, this wording seems weird, or this idea seems off. I'm curious if they pick up on it, or if they're just like, nah, that makes sense. And I'm the crazy one.
So, come back with us next week for more Boku no Hero Academia review. And if you like this, consider subscribing.
Love us. Want us. We are the best.
But don't obsess over us. Or else...
Are you kidding? That's exactly what we want. I'm using my hypnosis quirk. It's working, right?
Yeah.
Wait, podcasts aren't a visual medium. Shit, this won't work.
Yeah. Then again, you might be like, oh crap, I'm just blanking on her name.
Poor boy. He's dead.
Mina. You might be like Mina if you obsess over us too much.
Mina?
The Yandere girl in Boku no Hero.
Mina's the pink moth girl with the acid.
Crap, who's the Yandere in here?
I'm just gonna let you flounder.
Shit! I typed in Yandere Boku no Hero, and then Mina was the first name that came up.
That is not correct in the slightest.
Damn it! while I'm floundering. I will say goodbye.
It's Toga.
Thank you.
I believe her last name is Himiko.
Yes. Love us, but not to the degree that Toga does.
I'm right. It is Himiko.
All right, bye.